This is He Knows Everything, bringing you that heat and fire. Richy Rich, what's up, man? Talk to them.
What's up, He Knows? What's up to all yous in the chat? How you guys doing? Hope you guys had a blessed week so far. We're about to jump into this. We got some great topics for you today, man. Hope you guys enjoy this new show and you guys uh, give us some good feedback.
All right, let's get on to it, man. First things first. First things first, man, because we have to talk about it. Zion Williamson. Zion Williamson had a commercial where Zion Williamson was talking about how it's acceptable behavior for him to be out of shape. He was showcasing in the pictures that he was technically not out of shape. It looked like he probably drop himself back down to maybe like 280s, 290s, who knows. But what I found appalling, what I found egregious, what I found disrespectful about the commercial was the fact that he said out of his own mouth that he knows he could hit another gear, but he's not giving any solutions. He's not giving any causation. He's not giving any reality on what he needs to do to get himself to that next gear. It's really simple. You should not be 300 pounds. That should not be something that you should basically be from a basketball standpoint. Why are you 300 freaking pounds at 6'6"? That's ridiculous. 280 at 6'6" is a problem. Zion Williamson, we understand that he's never going to be a skinny prototypical basketball player. But is it a foregone conclusion that he can go all the way down to 240, 250? Why can't he go down to those weights? That would create 50 to 60 pounds less wear and tear on his knees. Zion Williamson would still be highly efficient. He would have way more muscle tone on his body. And by the way, his knees would say thank you. He would be saved by that situation. What I'm noticing from Zion Williamson and the way that he talked in the commercial, the way he pushed himself out, he's comfortable. It's as if the way that he's talking, he's already had over a decade under his legs that he's played the game of basketball. When we look at the John Morants of the world, we look at the um, RJ Barretts of the world, these guys are putting in work. There's a reason why the New York Knicks is balling the way that they're balling is because RJ Barrett is constantly getting better. There's a reason why the Memphis Grizzlies is killing it. It's because John Morant is constantly getting better. These guys are making noise. And you want to know why? They don't have the physical upside of Zion Williamson, but they have something that Zion Williamson lacks severely. It's called work ethic. These guys are putting in the work in the gym. And this is why these guys are standing out. These guys right here should not be on Zion Williamson's level if Zion Williamson is doing everything that he's supposed to from a work ethic standpoint. But Zion Williamson is lazy. And lazy begets lazy. Derek, character is the GOAT. You always say the real season starts tonight. We're going to get on your fakers. You told me that the last time when the fakers played the Boston Celtics, you said the real season was going to start, and then Jason Tatum dropped 37 on them. So higgity hush. When it's all said and done, Zion Williamson has a fundamental problem. The fundamental problem is his mindset. Zion Williamson is not focused on what he should be focusing on. He lacks discipline. He lacks character. He lacks drive. He lacks ambition. He lacks it all. And I've said it before and I will say it again. This is a generational talent. This guy right here got the fastest signing on a Jordan brand that I've ever seen from any athlete. Michael Jordan came out of his own mouth and said, Zion, we talking about LeBron. Zion got next. We need to be talking about Zion. And then Zion turns it around, takes this opportunity and spits at it. This is a generational talent. This is what's appalling. It's not like he's a bust. It's not like Zion Williamson is garbage. We know the skill set is there. We've seen Zion Williamson bowl over the Giannis Antetokounmpos of the world. And Giannis Antetokounmpo is not light. He is not skinny by any stretch of the imagination. And Zion Williamson man-child him. We've seen this before. We know when Zion Williamson is clicking on all cylinders, what his skill set can be on the basketball court. I want you, Richie Rich, to tell the people, what is your take on this guy? What is your ultimate forecast? And how do you see things are going to basically ultimately end up if Zion Williamson doesn't get his act together?
Well, I mean, that just explains, this the type of mentality that this era of young bucks in basketball have, man. I mean, they're content. They're getting all these uh, accolades, or they're getting all these endorsement deals so fast before they even put a basketball on before they even dribble a basketball in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? So they feel a little spoiled. They're a little spoiled right now, and they feel that they've already reached the plateau in their careers already. They got their money and all that, but they haven't really done anything in the NBA. They haven't played the games, and they haven't put in the time and the work. You know what I'm saying? We haven't seen them evolve into anything yet in the NBA, like we did in the past with all those past great players or good players. Now in the NBA, man, all you have to have is that hype before you get to the league, and you're going to be given everything. If the media dons you as the next great hype player, you're going to get everything before you have to go out and earn it. I felt that was given to Zion before he even came into the league. Look at him now, and he's just a guy that's content where he's at. You could also blame the people in his corner, man. How can they let a dude like that blow up to 300 pounds? Who's his trainer? Who are the people in his corner looking out for him? How can you let a guy with so much promise, so much to hope for, down the line in his years in the NBA, get out of hand with his weight? This guy has to be serious about the game. He's one of the stars they're counting on to be something in the down the long end for the NBA. So he has to show up. He has to be on the floor playing these games. And this is his third season now. For the past few seasons, this kid, man, he can't stay on the court. Either he's overweight or he has lower extremity injuries.
Facts.
And that's a huge problem, man, because if something bad, terrible happens to Zion, man, who's going to replace him? You know what I'm saying? They got to hope for the next cat to come out the NBA to turn into something. Obviously, the NBA always finds, somebody. You know what I'm saying? Somebody comes out of college, but we want to see something from Zion, man, because the kid, he has special athletic ability, like we haven't seen before from someone his size. His toting his weight, but he's a little too heavy. He should trim down to like 230, but I don't know if he's gonna ever get down to that weight, man. But the problem is, man, when you have a player like that coming out and saying stuff like that, and not being accountable for what he's doing, what actions he's taking, it just it goes all into this like I'm not trying to poke fun of athletes that say they have mental illness issues, but I feel that some athletes could try to use that as an excuse, man, so they don't have to face the scrutiny.
Exactly.
Back in the day, man, these athletes they just took it on. Nowadays, you got athletes they're using the mental illness card. They're saying, "Oh, okay, you can't come at me this way or that way." You're being paid millions of dollars, man. You got to understand, the criticism is gonna come. You're gonna have
Exactly.
people coming at you every types of way because people are jealous out there. They're like, "Damn, this dude is getting paid millions of dollars playing a game." You know what I'm saying? What's the worst that can happen? You got people out here who are fighting wars and stuff. They're doing worse than what you're doing, man. They're doing a whole lot. They're in a whole lot worse situation than what you are. They aren't getting paid millions of dollars for bouncing a basketball or throwing a football or anything like that. You're doing what you love. A lot of these
Exactly.
guys, they're playing a game. They have a love for the game, but it doesn't show. Because the
Yep.
way their approach is, Zion, he's not showing he got a love for the game. If he had a love for the game, he wouldn't let himself blow up to 300 pounds. Come
Yep.
on, man.
Yep.
What is this guy? Does this guy wanna have a long career in the NBA? Does he
Nope.
not want to be labeled as a bust? I'm not sure, man, because or the people in his corner, man. Who are the people in his corner? You always, as an NBA player, you always got an advisor. Either it's a family member or it's a somebody that's been with you, ever since you were young, a trainer or somebody, a mentor. Who are those people? I would like to know who those people are because they're not guiding this kid the right way, man. And he's not gonna
Exactly.
have a long NBA career if they don't get their act together and realize, okay, their meal ticket is about to burst because they're not taking care of their meal ticket, man.
Yep.
That's how it is. Some of these players have entourages, and these entourages, man, they don't play around. They take care of their guy. But whoever's taking care of Zion is not taking care of him right. You know what I'm saying? And if they don't start doing so, Zion is not going to last in the NBA, man. Too many of those injuries, he's going to end up like a Grant Hill. He's going to end up like an Anthony Hardaway because someone at his size, they cannot last getting those type of injuries. He just had his a foot surgery. When he came
Mm-hmm.
into the NBA, he had a knee surgery, and then the
Yep.
second year, the knee issue was bothering him again. Now he
Yep.
had to have a foot surgery. This guy's not
Yep.
gonna last, man. If he keeps having these issues, so Zion, man, get it together. The people who are managing Zion, get it together, man.
Yep. And we know that knee injuries is associated with weight. It's a weight bearing issue. And if your weight has an issue, it's always going to cause you to have knee issues. The reason why the Zion situation is sad is because the New Orleans Pelicans are dead last in NBA. Dead last. And Zion Williamson keeps saying, I'm not ready yet. When the fuck are you going to be ready? You're a young basketball player. How old is he, Richie Rich?
He can't be no older than 22 years old.
Exactly.
21, 22.
Yeah. 21 years old. You're a 21-year-old basketball player. What is your excuse for you to sit here and not be able to be on the basketball court? See, New Orleans is the headquarters of Popeyes. I need him to get up out of New Orleans because that Popeyes food will get anybody elevated and basically swolled up more than anything else. It's just something about that food that just elevates people's weight. And the fact that this guy right here is on Bourbon Street in Mardi Gras partying his ass off, that's how he put up the 300 fucking pounds. Let's be honest. He's in an area that he doesn't need to be in. He needs to be with a team that's going to discipline him. He needs to be with the Miami Heat. He needs to be with something like that because Zion Williamson lacks discipline. You want to talk about who his team that's around him? The great Floyd Mayweather talked about the reason why Floyd was so successful is because he always said, I have a great team around me. When you have a great team around you, you will always be successful. If you notice Floyd's speech, he always talked about it. I have a great team around me. So because I have a great team around me, I am successful. You have to have a great team around you. Zion Williamson is a generational talent. You have Michael Jordan at your beck and call. Call up Michael Jordan. Tell Michael Jordan, hey, what do I need to discipline myself? What do I need to get to the next level? This is why it's important as basketball players to study, to show yourself approval, and to study yourself up under the greats that have done it before you because they will help take you to the next level. This is how basketball generation has always been passed down. But the fact that the New Orleans Pelicans are last and the fact that Zion Williamson has to say that he needs to get ready, these are huge problems. And we're not going to sit here and act like we didn't unhear this. So now let's move on to the next topic because I really want to talk about it. Stephen Curry. They're sitting here. Zion don't need to call no damn LeBron for help. Look at Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons has called LeBron James out for help. And what has happened to Ben Simmons? Ben Simmons is about to get traded. Salute to you, Ben Castro. Ben Simmons is about to get traded. LeBron helped him out AAU style. What happened to him? Kobe Bryant told him, come over here and get True Alpha fixed. I'm going to fix your jumper. Your jumper's broke. Kobe Bryant passed away. He didn't get a chance to get that jumper fixed. And what happened? Now he's about to get traded. They about to kick his ass out of the NBA. He got the Kobe Bryant curse because he wouldn't listen to Kobe. But anyways, let's jump on to the next topic because we really have to talk about this, Richie Rich. People are getting caught up once again in the Stephen Curry hoopla. They believe that Stephen Curry is transformers more than me. Diaz, no, he's not. He's an untransformer. This guy is ramalanging teams that are not great basketball teams. And don't tell me about the Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets don't have Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is not there to get down on it. Get down on it. Get down now. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down now. He's not here to boogie on his ass. He's not here to razzle and dazzle him. We know if Kyrie Irving was there to razzle and dazzle him, Stephen Curry would not ball out the way he did. And let's be honest. Kyrie Irving was not in that game because Kyrie Irving would have took a lot of attention away from Stephen Curry. So don't give me the Nets. I know people's getting ready to say the Nets. I don't want to hear it. Stephen Curry is balling out on a lot of garbage teams as always. And what type of season are we in? We're in the regular season. You think I'm impressed by regular season feats? Let's see Stephen Curry do this in the playoffs. Stephen Curry had an opportunity to win a Finals MVP. Kevin Durant told him in one of those Finals MVPs, hey, I want you to win this. He couldn't even do that. This is a low IQ basketball player when the game is on the line. Stephen Curry has proven that Matthew Dellavedova locked him up. Don't get me started on Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry got LeBron James creating tombstones from this with this guy. And y'all going to sit here and tell me that Stephen Curry's balling out of control? Once again, we're getting caught up into a high-octane beta, a.k.a. alpha wannabe hoopla. Richie Rich, what's your take on Stephen Curry, man? And the nonsense that NBA fans keep falling for this nonsensical basketball player. They keep overrating and overinflating his basketball resume.
Well, I mean, Stephen Curry, man, he has moments where he has low points in his career. You know, that came in the finals against the Cavs the first time when they played Matthew Dellavedova. And he was able to play phenomenal defense on Stephen Curry and take him out 4 games out of that 6-game series. You know, he's had moments where when KD went down in those finals, when they were trying to three-peat, and you know, Toronto started playing that box one defense on him, and he couldn't figure it out. You know what I'm saying? He also had the moment where, you know, they lost in the finals. This was before KD went to the Warriors. I kind of backtrack a little, but I'm trying to, you know, piece everything together. When he before KD went to the Warriors, where the Warriors could have two-piece LeBron. Everything was about to be given on a platter to Stephen Curry.
Exactly.
Curry let everything fall off the plate because he allowed the Cavs to beat him in that series when he was up 3-1. He let LeBron come, and the Cavs come back down from a 3-1 deficit, and they were able to shock the Warriors in that series. So, you know, Curry, man, he has low points. He's shown that he can't step it up on the big stage. You know, whenever those moments are put on him, he's shown that he can't deliver the goods. You know what I'm saying? And that's why he doesn't have a Finals MVP, and that's why he's still criticized. You know, and it's warranted. But you know, we got to give Stephen Curry, you know, some credit. That cat, I'm not gonna lie. When KD was with that fool, them fools were a lethal duo, man. It felt like another Shaq and Kobe, or a Michael Jordan and Pippen, man. Like teams that play those cats, they felt hopeless. Like, how are we gonna go and beat these two cats? Because they play well with each other. You know what I'm saying? And you know, Curry, he's a phenomenal number 2 player that can, you know, sometimes in the regular season he can look as if he's a number 1 because of his ability. His ability to go to just be a unconscious player, man. When he's in that zone, that boy, man, that boy makes these crazy shots, man. You like, we haven't seen stuff like that. Doing stuff off the stopping on a dime and hitting 3-point shots from the logo, or from crazy range distances, man, Curry is a special player. And what he's brought to the game, he's changed the game. You got
Mm-hmm.
whether you agree or not, this guy has changed the game. He's changed the way the game is played. But
I don't
Curry's
agree with the
not.
changing of the game, but I agree with everything else you said.
Yeah, dudes are taking more threes than ever. Teams are taking more. Curry's changed the game in that regard. Teams are taking more threes now than they ever did. You don't see how the game is played, guys. It's just 3-point possessions back and forth. Guys
Which
aren't
I don't
taking
think
mid
is
range
great.
shots.
Which I don't
I'm
think
not
is
saying
great for
it's
the game of
great,
basketball.
but he's changed the game in that aspect where teams are
Mm-hmm.
just the analytics are out of whack now. This is it's a good thing if you're taking a 3-point shot now. And back in the days that was a bad shot because it's a low percentage shot.
Mm-hmm.
Curry's changed the game in that regard. But the knock on Curry is he can't elevate his game on the big stage. That's his knock. If Curry was able to elevate his game on the big stage, man,
Mm-hmm.
then a lot of what he's doing would be warranted. I like Curry.
Right.
I like his game. But that's the knock I have against him. He can't elevate until he shows that, and until he shows that he can win a Finals MVP as the head honcho. In
Mm-hmm.
my eyes, he's a number 2 guy. He's a number 2 guy, and that's not bad because that dude is a dangerous number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Katie had his best years playing alongside that dude right there, man, and they were a
Mm-hmm.
lethal duo. It's like you
Mm-hmm.
got to face these 2 cats on the floor. How you gonna
Yep.
beat those cats? Both those guys
Yep.
can hit any shot anywhere on the floor. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And then you give that ball to KD in the clutch. He takes it home, man. It's just damn. How are we gonna beat these
Right.
fools? But what Stephen Curry is doing now in his 14th, 15th season at the age of
Mm-hmm.
33, you got to give it to that man. That man putting the work. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's keeping up with the Joneses, man. And
Right.
right now, it was him and Kevin Durant as the 2 made MVP headliners so
Yep.
far. Stephen Curry edged him out with that win in Brooklyn, man. So it's cool to see Stephen Curry, the Golden State Warriors still have a life without Kevin Durant. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But we got to see what Brooklyn's gonna do, man. Because them chants that he was getting in Brooklyn, man, that was kind of disrespectful. I'm not gonna lie. He was getting an MVP chance in KD's home, man. He went in there, dropped that quick 37 on them boys, and he was getting an MVP chance. What was that all about? He knows. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you brought it up. You gave
Yeah,
me, you gave me a lot of
that
points
right.
to talk about. You gave me a lot of points to talk about.
KD, he had KD out there, speechless, and Harden. They were on the bench. They were like, "Damn, man, these fans are out here cheering for this cat, and we the
Mm-hmm.
headliners. We the headliners over here, and they out here cheering Stephen Curry MVP.
Mm-hmm.
That right there was just mad disrespectful to me, man.
All right.
You
I'm
know,
glad you said all of that. So let me say this. First and foremost, Kevin Durant's been carrying the Brooklyn Nets game in and game out. And we know basketball has moments and it has switches and it has ebbs and flows. Basketball players are always not going to play their best every game. That was one of those games where Kevin Durant just didn't have a great basketball game. It is what it is. He just didn't have a great basketball game. These things happen. It's unfortunate that you don't want to have a bad basketball game when you're playing against a guy that you want to thoroughly demolish and you want to demoralize. But the dice rolled in that favor that Kevin Durant just had a bad basketball game. If you look at the first half, he did his thing. In the second half, he had turnovers. In the second half, he was like 0 for so many fucking shots. Kevin Durant just wasn't balling out of control. But the reason for that is because of wear and tear. And here's how I have proof. Didn't he end up sustaining a shoulder injury, Richie Rich? That tells you that this man has overtaxed his body because of Kyrie Irving. And I'm going to get on him because he's the next topic. That selfish motherfucker. That dude right there was supposed to be there to be the razzler and dazzler, to be the number 2 option so that when Kevin Durant cannot lift and uplift, a game like that was supposed to be between Kyrie and Stephen Curry. Kevin Durant wasn't even supposed to be involved because it's supposed to be a game where the number 2s go at it. In basketball, you have, are you a Jordan or are you a Pippen? Richard Jefferson said that so eloquently so many days ago. I don't know if you remember that. He said growing up in street ball, They used to say, man, are you a Jordan or are you a Pippen? They was talking about Scottie Pippen and how Scottie Pippen was feeling slighted because Scottie Pippen didn't like that reference of, are you a Jordan or are you a Pippen? But those are the two styles of basketball. If you know basketball, you know diametrically you're either Jordan, you're a Batman, or you're a Scottie Pippen, you're a Robin. That's just the way it rolls. And these are the two styles. Stephen Curry's a Robin, and I'm glad you harped on that. He needed the other Robin, and i.e. Kyrie Irving, to stick it to him. Kyrie Irving is an elevated Robin. He's what you call a Nightwing. This is when Robin graduates to an adult evolving state, right? He becomes Nightwing. That's who Kyrie Irving is, Nightwing. Nightwing wasn't there to stick it to the boy wonder because Nightwing is too busy being selfish off of the fact that he doesn't want to take the vaccine. It is what it is. We're going to talk about that. So you guys have to understand, when you look at the Golden State Warriors and see the way that they're built up, they've been playing with synergy. They've been playing with chemistry minus Klay Thompson. They've been doing this for a very long time, but they have all of their other pieces in place. The Brooklyn Nets don't have their pieces in place. The Brooklyn Nets fell apart when Kyrie Irving went on this selfish tour. Because if you look at the way the Brooklyn Nets is set up, Kyrie Irving is supposed to be there. You can't ride your success on James Harden. James Harden is a third wheel, sixth man of the year. James Harden is either your third wheel or he's your greatest sixth man the NBA has ever seen. He's not a number two option. So when people sit here and say Kevin Durant is supposedly overrated or Kevin Durant, he got James Harden. James Harden is he's not a Scottie Pippen level. He never was. He's not even on that level. You know what James Harden is? James Harden is a Horace Grant level. That's what James Harden's always been, a Horace Grant type of basketball player. So now you got Michael Jordan and Horace Grant out there, and you think the Brooklyn Nets are going to do it? No. That's what people got to understand. So, yes, you're sitting here saying James Harden was on the bench. Stephen Curry has been known for torching James Harden. James Harden has been living on the bench. You remember when he played for the Houston Rockets? Stephen Curry has been dominating this guy since then. So is this anything new for James Harden to be on the bench? But Kevin Durant, the reason why I don't give that win any credibility is because Kevin Durant has weared and teared throughout this season, and he's an MVP candidate, mind you. Now, you think I would give Stephen Curry a credit for that game? No, the Brooklyn Nets are not fully stacked up. They don't have their full roster in place. So because they don't have their full roster in place, I cannot give that win credit. The Golden State Warriors, on the other hand, they have been playing without Klay Thompson for a number of years. Is that absolutely correct, or is it not?
That's correct.
So they're used to playing without Klay Thompson. Now, is the Brooklyn Nets used to playing without Kyrie Irving, or is Kyrie Irving an integral part of their team?
He is an integral part of the team.
Thank you. So that's why the Golden State Warriors won that game, because one team was out of sync and the other team was always in the sync that they've been with or without Klay Thompson. So that's what happened in that scenario. Now, going back to what Richy Rich's point with Stephen Curry, Richy Rich made a hellified point. Stephen Curry is the ultimate number 2 basketball player. He's never a number 1. That's why I always call him a high octane beta, aka alpha wannabe, because this guy right here, as a number 2 basketball player with no pressure on him, he can dominate like nobody's business. He made life for Kevin Durant so seamless because he bent the proverbial fucking knee and he kissed the ring while he was at it to Kevin Durant. He did it utterly. He did it basically what we would say willingly, and he did it without fail each and every single time. That's why they went back to back. There was no Russell Westbrook of Russville struggle. There was no strife. There was no, well, I'm the number 1 and you're the number 2. There wasn't none of that. It was, look, Kevin Durant's coming to the team. We know he's the better basketball player. I'm going to defer to Kevin Durant because I know Kevin Durant is going to dominate. That's exactly what happened. And that's why they won seamlessly the way that they did. That's why Kevin Durant thrived the way he did. To be honest with you, Kevin Durant would not be on the Brooklyn Nets. He would still be on the Golden State Warriors if Stephen Curry made one more concession, which he failed to do, and that's why Kevin Durant left. It had nothing to do with Draymond Green. See, people think Draymond Green was the situation that pushed Kevin Durant out of there. What pushed Kevin Durant out of there is Stephen Curry wouldn't give up Dub Nation. Kevin Durant went to Steph Curry and said, I need you to make the public proclamation to tell Dub Nation this is my fucking team, and Stephen Curry wouldn't do it. That's why Kevin Durant left. Richy Rich laughing, but it's the truth. That's why he left. And he said, "I need you to do that." Because see, this is what people gotta understand. And Richy Rich gonna laugh, but it's the truth because we know basketball when it comes to this. Option 2 always has the burden to bend the knee to option 1 on every level. That's why you see Scottie Pippen is doing the diatribes that he's doing. Because Scottie Pippen had to bend the knee to Michael Jordan every level. That's why he's mad. He had to bend the knee to, you got to bend the knee to every level. Stephen Curry would not do it. Joe Lacob told Stephen Curry, and that's why Kevin Durant saw that and he said, "I'm getting off that team." Because Joe Lacob told Stephen Curry, "Don't do it." And then Kevin Durant said, "Oh, this is a betrayal. Because I told you to go out there in the media and tell the media that you've been in the knee to me." He wouldn't do it. So Kevin Durant said, "Deuces." And what happened? Have they been a dynasty ever since? No. They're a team that's trying to find themselves all over again. Let's be honest here. That's exactly what has happened to the Golden State Warriors. They are a team that's trying to figure out their livelihood. This whole nuance that you guys are seeing that Stephen Curry's doing in the regular season, it's a continuum of what Stephen Curry's always done in the regular season. Ball out of control, play basketball like nobody's business. But we know in basketball, regular season means absolutely diddly squat. Regular season means nothing because it's what you do in the NBA playoffs. It's what you do when legends are made. It's what you do in the NBA finals when the pantheon of greatness is denoted. And what has Stephen Curry constantly done in those moments? He's proven low IQ. He's proven that he has to be the number 2. And he's proven that his legacy is showcased why he has no finals MVPs. Andre Iguodala housed you for a finals MVP because you was getting locked down by Matthew Dellavedova and he had to shut down LeBron James. Do I need to go over Stephen Curry's playoffs and postseason so I can remind you guys the fragile basketball player he is in the postseason? So please don't tell me about his regular season feats. Richy Rich hit it right on the point when he said that Stephen Curry is the ultimate number 2 basketball player. He is. He's actually taken Scottie Pippen's position from that. I used to say Scottie Pippen, but these latest diatribes that Scottie Pippen has said and the way that Scottie Pippen has ruined his legacy, Stephen Curry is the ultimate number 2 basketball player the NBA has ever seen. Now let's get on to the next topic. Richy Rich, we have to talk about this. LeBron James and Enes Kanter. Enes Kanter went out of there and said money over morals. He basically took the dig. He said LeBron James is supposedly this social justice movement basketball player, social justice right basketball player. But he's sitting there and praising the fact that Nike gave him a lifetime deal, a lifetime contract. That Nike's basically saying, because you bring in $600 million a year, which is a far cry from the billions and billions of dollars that Michael Jordan is bringing in revenue-wise, we're going to give you a lifetime contract. We saw LeBron James go on a diatribe where he was just celebrating and he was just basically gloating and he was basically saying, "Look, man, I have arrived because Phil Knight is acknowledging me." Phil Knight is basically saying that I am here. They've built a huge facility in Portland, Oregon to showcase my greatness. Why haven't they done this in Cleveland? It's a good question. Why did they have to go do this in Portland, Oregon? Why they don't do it in your hometown? Isn't your hometown Ohio? Why don't do it in Akron? Are you ashamed of Akron? Are you ashamed of it being done in your hometown? I would think that this would be done in Akron, Ohio. Why is Nike being convenient to do it in one of their headquarter facilities? LeBron didn't question that, just like he didn't question the fact that in China, they have this slave trade operation where they're slaving people to basically make pennies on the dollar to generate shoes that are generating hundreds and hundreds of dollars. These were the points that Enes Kanter was talking about. Why are you quiet about this? You're supposedly this social justice movement athlete, but you have nothing to say. This is why I tell you guys, I don't trust athletes when it comes to social justice movement or social justice rights. I don't trust them with that. I trust them to shut up and fucking dribble. That's what I trust them to do. Yes, I said it. And I will say it again. I trust them to shut up and fucking dribble. Because a lot of them don't mean what they say that they're gonna mean. LeBron James is one of those guys. Kyrie Irving is one of those guys. This selfishness, the level of audacity that's come out of this dude's mouth. Sitting here collecting still $19 million, and he hasn't played a game of basketball. If I was the Brooklyn Nets, lucky I'm not the owner. I would have cut his ass. I would have cut his ass a long time ago. That nonsense he's pulling. I'd have told him, take the jab. Ain't that what they call it, the jab? Take the jab, or I'm cutting your ass. And then let's not sit here and talk about all of these other guys. They sit here and they have these Black Lives Matter shirts. They sit there and they got all of these different shirts on. But when it comes time for them to actually do what they're supposed to, they're nowhere to be fucking found. So Richy Rich, let's talk about this, man. What was your take on Enes Kanter and his perfectly technically punch place dig on LeBron James of saying you are a hypocrite? You've catered. You've lust succumbed to the money over morals. No, let's contextualize it. You lust succumb to the money over the morals. What's your take on it, man?
Man, Enes Kanter, boy, hey, I appreciate that dude's boldness, man. I thought what he did was cool, man. Hey, he's going against the system. He's going against the grain, man. And he's trying to be different, you know, and not be these so-called athletes, man, who are hypocrites, you know, and they're supporting, you know, it's always the headliners, the guys who are wearing these who are the headliners for these big wig shoe organizations. Those are the guys that are making the big endorsement dollars. You know, they're never gonna say anything negatively towards the company that they're sponsoring them, or you know, China, because China is, you know, when you wearing that type of you know, apparel, it's being made by China, so you can't say anything about China, you know, or they'll cancel you. You know, just like because Enes Kanter said what he said, Boston is never going to be able to step foot in China again. They basically banned Boston Celtics from playing any games over in China. They're not going to be able to play games. That's what China does, man. Like if you have anything to negative to say how they're doing their communistic ways over there, they're going to ban you, or they're going to try to find a way to make sure whatever you got to say don't reach the people over in China. And you know, you got to commend people like Enes Kanter, even Daryl Morey, when he said what he said about you know, China, what they were doing over to their own people, man. You know what I'm saying? People who could you know, be a voice for people over there who can't really say anything, or you know, something bad might happen to them, you know, but we can't let money you know, turn us into make us become our own slaves. We got to understand what's important here, you know. And I feel that a lot of these athletes, they've allowed the money, they've allowed the fame to take over, man, and they're oblivious to what's going on, to what's really going on, you know, and they're not going to put that at stake like LeBron is. He already showed his card when he made those comments about Daryl Morey. You know, Adam Silver, you saw what he said. I like if there's a moment about Adam Silver that I've liked, because there's a lot of things I haven't liked that he's done to the NBA, but that was one moment in his career as the commissioner that I respected him. China and Nike wanted this man to get rid of Daryl Morey. He said, no, I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because that guy believes in that, and that's, you know, that's how he believes. That's what he believes in, and I commend him for speaking up against that. You know, and I'm not gonna get rid of him because China, big old China wants me to get rid of him, or Nike wants me to get rid of him, because what he's saying has, you know, there's value behind what he says, you know, and he's not being fake, you know. So I'm not gonna get rid of him because he's speaking his mind. You know, a group of people were being attacked because they were protesting over there, and he's trying to speak for them. and you want me
Right.
to fire this guy? You want me to bury him? No, I'm not gonna do that. So I respected Adam Silver for doing that. LeBron James, you can already see, man, that dude, he's gonna bend over, man. He's gonna take it any kind of way for that China money. It's what it is, man. That's what it's
Hmm.
about to him, man. So, LeBron's already made. He's got that $1 billion contract, so he can't. They got him. You could kind of say he's a slave to Nike and to China because they got him. They gave him that money. Now you better make
Exactly.
sure you do what if we want you to be a guest speaker over here. If we want you to do that, you better make sure you're there, and you
If we
can't
want you to
say
eat
anything.
shit, if we want you to eat
Yeah,
shit, you gotta eat it.
you basically you have to. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? It's like these. I don't know if you ever see it. Whoever, any one of these shoe sponsors, whoever sponsors you, you can't wear a brand of shoe of the other company. You notice that, right? There
Yep.
was one time,
Yep.
I guess James Harden. He wears the Adidas brand, right?
Yep.
And I guess the NBA jerseys have the Nike apparel on them.
Yep.
They have the Nike check. He has to actually cover the Nike check
Correct.
because he wears Adidas. You see how
Adidas.
much these guys are a slave to slave to those companies, man. It's
Yep.
it's crazy. And
Yep.
that's what Ennis Cantor is trying to say, man. Like all these shoe companies got people, that they're paying pennies on the dollar to make their shoe companies make their
Facts.
shoes and uh, import it over to all these other countries. But yet people don't realize, man, what's going on behind the scenes, man. And a lot of cruelty, a lot of mistreatment is going on, but nobody really wants to speak up on it. Every time someone speaks on this, it goes silent real quick. It's like they
Sorry.
trying to hide something, and just hearing someone like Ennis Cantor come out and say that, man, and him being bold, especially what's going on with him in his country. That dude can't step foot in his country because he spoke about the president and how things are going on in the government in his country, and they pretty
Yep.
much put a wanted pretty much a bounty on his head. If they get him, if they pretty much get this dude, if this dude step foot in this country, they're gonna off this man.
Yep.
So you already know what that dude is going up against. So
Yep.
this dude is not scared, man. And LeBron James made some comments about him in the post game after the Celtics dispatched the Lakers.
Yeah.
He
He said
said
he's
he
not even going to
basically passed
entertain
it
what he had to
on.
say.
Yeah, he's not even gonna because he knows what that guy's saying is right, man. You
Yep.
basically sold yourself, man. And
Yep.
he telling it like it is, man. You're a slave to Nike, man. You know what I'm saying? You made your dollars. It is what it is.
Yep.
But don't act like you're a social justice warrior when you're promoting a brand that's mistreating people. That's basically selling their stuff for 10 times, 20 times the worth, and they're not paying those people who are making those shoes correctly. They're paying those people pennies on the dollars. Kids,
Exactly.
all them
Exactly.
people who are making those shoes over in China, they're paying them pennies, man,
Yep.
pittance to
Yep.
what they're selling those shoes worth, and it's not right.
Yep.
And more
Yep.
people should speak up on it.
Yep. And I'm glad that you said that because I was going to harp on LeBron's basically comment and his response to it. And his response was a no love response. Let me say it again. It was a no love response because he knew that Ennis Canner hit him with that ding. And see, LeBron has been notorious when you catch him in the La cookie jar, he doesn't have nothing to la say. Because with him, it's always about la damage, la control. And Ennis Canner hit it where it hurt. Because it is true. He has been mute since he had the whole Nike lifetime deal empire put in place. My question is, why aren't you or why haven't you pushed? Why are you just kissing Nike's ass and Phil Knight's ass and saying, hey, why are we just accepting it in Portland, Oregon? Why isn't this being done in Akron, Ohio? Because I would think that you would want your headquarters to be built in your hometown where you came from. This is very clear that he's a La puppet, and he's La bought, and he's a La paid for. And it's very clear that this La fraud job is nowhere near the level that he would be in. And when we have a fool like Derek Character is the GOAT says, you think LeBron James could win 10 NBA championships in Jordan's era? No. In Jordan's era, he would be 0 out of fucking 10. 0 out of damn 10. Like Dennis Rodman said. Dennis Rodman said that LeBron James has no special effects up and down. He's a straight up and down basketball player. He would be locked up in my era. I would guard him. Dennis Rodman would be in LeBron James's head. It would not even be funny. Dennis Rodman would make LeBron James go and cry to his mama. Dennis Rodman would ensure that LeBron James doesn't even have a lifeline in that genre or that generation of basketball. You guys have to understand how watered down Derek Character is the GOAT. You're going to be mad right now. Let me explain how watered down the NBA is at this point. LeBron James is a poor man Scottie Pippen. He's not even a Scottie Pippen. He's a poor man Scottie Pippen. This is how watered down the NBA's been. They just show to you that a poor man Scottie Pippen could be so dominant in this era because the basketball talent has regressed. You don't have the Charles Barkleys of the world. You don't have the Patrick Ewings of the world. You don't have the Hakeem Olajuwons of the world. You don't have this. This is what Jordan had to face. Jordan went up against damn near, if you look at the NBA 50 greatest, he went up against almost 30-something players, close to 40-something players that's in the NBA 50 greatest during his genre of play, and he shut all of them down. John Stockton, Karl Malone, Patrick Ewing. I mean, he shut all these guys down. Charles Barkley, Clyde Drexler, Hakeem Olajuwon. Hakeem Olajuwon and them only won because Jordan retired for those 2 years. This man has shut everybody on that NBA 50 greatest down, just literally just about. And you guys want to sit here and talk about this watered down NBA generation and how it compares to that genre of generation? LeBron James would be 0 out of 10 in Michael Jordan's era. Let's not even act like that's not a foregone conclusion. You got anything you want to say?
Next, just look at at this list that they compiled up, and list. They've got players. They've got people questioning some of these players that are in this next 25 that's been added on to the 50. That just shows you how watered down the NBA is.
Yeah.
When we looked at the first 50, nobody was questioning these guys. They're like, yeah, those guys deserve to be there because those guys truly were greats in their times, man.
Exactly.
The time that they played. But in this next, you got, man, who's on this list?
Yeah.
Nah, bro. No.
Over and in the next and the next 75 that they have, I question guys like Klay Thompson should not be in your 75 list. To be honest with you, if you want me to be honest with you, James Harden doesn't deserve to be on the 75 list. I don't know how the fuck did he get on that list. He doesn't deserve to be on it. The automatic shoe-ins for your 75 list is number 1, Kevin Durant. You put Kevin Durant over everybody. Kevin Durant is automatic. Auto-freaking-matic. And I'm talking about in this era. Number 2 is Kawhi Leonard. And then number 3 is LeBron James. That's who you put in this genre. But before that, you're going to put automatically number 1, Kobe Bryant. Then you put Shaquille O'Neal. No. Kobe Bryant. Then you put Tim Duncan. Then you put Shaquille O'Neal. So Kobe Bryant's number 1. Tim Duncan's number 2. Shaquille O'Neal's number 3 for that genre pre-Kevin Durant. Then in Kevin Durant's genre, it's Kevin Durant number 1, Kawhi Leonard number 2, LeBron James number 3. Everybody else is questionable. And I'm going to explain who should be part of that 25. Here's my 25 right here. Kobe, Tim Duncan, Shaquille O'Neal. That's 3. Now let's keep going. We're going to put Paul Pierce. That's going to be 4. We're going to put Allen Iverson. That's going to be 5. We're going to put Tracy McGrady. That's number 6. We're going to sit here. We're going to put Kevin Durant. That's number 7. We're going to put Kawhi Leonard. That's number 8. We're going to put LeBron James. That's number 9. Stephen Curry. He's going to be on my list. He's going to be number 10 on the damn list. How many more do I have? 15 more? Let's go with it. Out of the 15 that I have left, we're going to put, he doesn't get enough credit for being on this list, but his ass should be on the list. And I think Richy Rich is going to agree. Dirk Nowitzki. That's my number 11. Steve Nash is going to be my number 12. So I got
D-Wade.
13 more, right? Dwayne Wade is going to be on my list. You know why I keep shooting Wade down? Because of the situations where he gave up the team to LeBron. I would have picked Wade automatically, but the situations with LeBron and the situation with Gabrielle Union. So I had to shoot him down real bad. I would have had Wade on the top tier, but I have to have him on the back end. Wade is going to be my 14th basketball player. Let's keep on going with the list. Ironically, it's going to surprise a lot of people, but you know who else is going to be on my list? Jason Kidd is going to be my 15th basketball player. So I got 10 more left, right? Gary Payton was left off. Gary Payton should be on my list. That's number 16. You know who else is going to be on my list? Dominique Wilkins. That's 17. So I got 8 more players left. You know who else is going to be on my list? A guy by the name of Manu Ginobili. A guy by the name of Tony Parker. That's 18 and 19. So I got 6 more left on the list. You know who else is going to be on my list out of the 6 more that I got? Because they don't give these guys credit. And Richy Rich know who I'm talking about. I'm going to have, what's his name? I'm going to have Jason fucking Terry. I know a lot of people don't want to give Jason Terry, but I'm going to give Jason Terry. Let me tell you why I'm going to give Jason Terry, why Jason Terry is going to get my 19th spot. No, why he's going to get my 20th spot. Jason Terry ram-a-lang LeBron James. Jason Terry locked down LeBron James in the 2011 NBA Finals. Am I lying? Am I lying? Yes. Oh, I picked Ginobili. Ben Castro. I picked him. So I got 5 more players. You want to know who the 5 more players are left? Chris Bosh is going to be my 21 because Chris Bosh don't get enough credit. Kevin Garnett is going to be my 22. And I got 3 more left. You guys want to know who they are? Jermaine O'Neal is going to be my 23. Jermaine O'Neal don't get enough credit, man. Jermaine O'Neal was a beast. You remember those Indiana Pacers days? You remember how dominant Jermaine O'Neal was? Chauncey Billups is going to be my 24. Chauncey Billups has a record for beating Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, and Michael Jordan. Do you know that? Did people know that Chauncey Billups has that record of beating all those 3 guys in a playoff series? He beat Michael Jordan with the Wizards. He beat Kobe Bryant. He beat Kobe Bryant with the Lakers, and he beat LeBron James with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Did you know that? That's a fun fact.
Not many people know that.
20-4. And you know who's my 25th? Carmelo Anthony. Do I have James Harden on my list? Do I have Klay Thompson on my list? My list can be argued with anybody. I don't have nobody else on that damn list. Charles Barkley was already on their 50 greatest, so he made the cut. That's my 25. What's your 25, bro?
My 25?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, your 25 sounds right, man. I can agree with that. I can agree with that list.
You don't have no interjections?
Nah, I don't have no interjections.
Yeah, all right. That's my 25 right there. So we're not putting no James Hardens. We're not putting no Klay Thompsons. We're not adding no Damian Lillards. We're not adding this nonsense. We're not adding no Kyrie Irvings. These guys don't deserve to be on that list.
They put AD on that list.
Anthony Davis. These guys don't deserve. Westbrook. These guys, Russell Westbrook. These guys need to be on the next 100. Notice I didn't even put Dwight Howard because Dwight Howard is a big goof troop. Goof troop don't deserve to be on my list. Now, let's get on to the next topic, man, because we got to talk about this. Richy Rich, Kyrie Irving. We wanted to talk about it. This is the latest and the greatest topic. Stephen A. Smith said 3 things. I agree with 2 out of 3. I agree with 67% of what he said. 1, he said that Kyrie Irving betrayed Kevin Durant. He is absolutely right about that. 2, Kyrie Irving should be traded. I absolutely agree with that. And I mentioned the trade. You remember the trade that I mentioned a few weeks back? The perfect trade that the Brooklyn Nets needs to explore is trading Kyrie Irving for Damian Lillard. That would be a perfect, seamless trade. You want to know why that trade would be perfect and seamless? Because Damian Lillard is instant offense. Is he not? Damian Lillard is a clutch basketball player. Is he not? Damian Lillard can actually pass the basketball, and he has Mamba mentality from an offensive end. Does he not?
Exactly.
That would be a seamless trade. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know what's in Sean Marks' head. But Sean Marks needs to explore this option. Kyrie Irving has been selfish. Kevin Durant brought Kyrie Irving in when nobody else wanted him. Boston Celtics was going to be Kyrie Irving's last opportunity for him to get it together as a superstar. And Kevin Durant showed up and said, you know what? I believe in you. As long as you can be my dedicated number two, I believe in you, and I'm going to allow you to come play with me in the Brooklyn Nets. And Kyrie Irving has been a walking disappointment. A huge walking disappointment. This guy does not want to take the jab. I know a lot of people that have taken the jab hasn't killed them. So you think the jab is going to kill you? Or do you have an agenda in place? This is what I'm coming to the conclusion of, Richy Rich. Kyrie Irving does not love basketball. He doesn't want to play basketball. Basketball is secondary to him. Basketball is not in his mind. Basketball is not something he wants to do. I've come to this conclusion with this guy. Because if he loved basketball like he said he did, if he prescribes to the Mamba mentality, Kobe Bryant is turning in his grave right now. Kobe Bryant is wondering, what the hell are you doing, Kyrie Irving? Basketball should be first. Wasn't that Kobe Bryant's mentality? It was all about what you did on the basketball court. It was all about hard work and dedication. It was all about putting it out there. It was all about exhausting it on E. If that is the mindset, why is Kyrie Irving playing games? And why is Kyrie Irving not engineering himself to get to the next level from a basketball standpoint? Let me explain why. Because Kyrie Irving is selfish. I don't agree with Stephen A. Smith on many things, but I agree with him on that. Kyrie Irving has let down Kevin Durant. These are facts. How many times, and see, this is the problem that I have with Kevin Durant. If you guys want to know my one criticism with Kevin Durant, Richy Rich knows it. Kevin Durant is too fucking nice. I'm not nice like Kevin Durant. I don't even understand what that niceness is. I'm known as a bona fide asshole. That's just the truth. If you know me, you know I'm a fucking asshole. Kevin Durant is not an asshole, and I wish I could give him just 1% of my asshole in him so that he can be an asshole. Kevin Durant gets screwed over time in and time again because he's too fucking nice. He was too nice with Russell Westbrook of Russellville, and he had to suffer 9 years of that fate. He was too nice with Kendrick Perkins. He gave Kendrick Perkins a job. Kendrick Perkins averaged 5.5 points, and look at what Kendrick Perkins has done since he's got out of the league. Diatribe after diatribe, talking trash about Kevin Durant after talking trash about Kevin Durant. He has now done this with Kyrie Irving, and look how Kyrie Irving screwed him. Kevin Durant, pay attention. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Stop being too fucking nice. There's a terminology that says that the nice guy finishes last. Is that wrong in saying that? Is that a fallacy or is it the truth? Nice guys finish last. Stop being too fucking nice. Every time you're nice to these guys, they screw you over time in and time again. If I'm Kevin Durant, I'm going to the Brooklyn Nets organization and saying, get rid of Kyrie Irving and give me Dame Dollar. That's exactly what I'm saying. Because right now he's messing with your championships. Right now he's messing with the Brooklyn Nets run. You cannot hope and bank your team on Kevin Durant and James Harden. James Harden was there to be a supplement. James Harden was there to be basically, no, not a supplement, an additive. He was there to be a third wheel. He was there to be a sixth man of the year. This is how he operates. He's not there to be your number two option. James Harden is not good enough to be a number two option. He's good enough to be a number three option or a sixth man of the year. So without Kyrie Irving, the Brooklyn Nets have a void to fill. So if I'm Sean Marks, if I'm Mr. Alibaba, if I'm Mikel Proko Google Google, however you say his last Google Google name, I'm getting rid of Kyrie Irving. Oh, you don't want to take the jab? Your ass is off the damn team. So I agree with Stephen A. Smith when he says he betrayed him. And I agree with Stephen A. Smith when he said he needs to trade him. But he knows everything. Told you guys the trade that's going to be ideal for the Brooklyn Nets. That's get rid of Kyrie Irving and put Damian Lillard on that squad. If they do that, like Ben Castro said, KD and Dame Dollar would be a dangerous tandem. These are facts. Because if you look at the way Dame Dollar plays, Dame Dollar gives you high assist ratio when he's playing with supplementary pieces and he's playing with high level superstar pieces that can score the basketball. Kevin Durant is the most skilled off the ball superstar we've ever seen. Is he not, Richie Rich?
Yeah, he
So
is.
how is him and Dame Dollar not going to be successful? And Dame Dollar's instant offense. He's a guy that you could count on, especially in moments like this when Kevin Durant has a shoulder injury. Is he not going to be counted upon in moments like this? We need to get rid of Kyrie Irving and we need to trade him because Kyrie Irving right now is a waste of freaking space. What's your take on this, man?
Man, the signs were there, the red flags were there, and I got to bring it to your attention because I remember last year on previous shows I brought it to your attention, but you
You
scoffed at
did.
it
You
when,
did. You
especially
did.
that time when
You get the
yeah,
biggest salute of the day, though.
when
You get the
Kyrie
biggest
made it,
salute of the
yeah,
day.
okay, when Kyrie made that comment about Steve Nash saying them cats don't need a coach. I'm like,
Yep.
how you just gonna throw the coach under the bus like that? You know, you gonna disrespect Steve Nash. He's the coach of to the team, man. You gotta respect that guy, man. And that's the guy Kevin Durant worked with in the offseason a lot. And he co-signs for Steve Nash to be the coach. So he's already taking a dump on a guy that Kevin Durant respects highly. And this guy helped Kevin Durant work on his game and help bring Kevin Durant's game to the next level. So I'm like, damn, that's already a red flag. I'm like, why would Kyrie even say that?
Yep.
Then he goes and he's having this conversation. They're on Instagram Live or something. And Kyrie Irving says he thinks he needs to have certain plays ran for him in the offense. And KD's looking at him. He's like, man, what is this guy talking about? He wants his own possessions where he's in the post, he's down in the post, and he feels that he wants to take some possessions. And Kevin Durant's like, okay, we got to see about that. But Kevin Durant's like, man, hell no.
Yep.
Come on, bro. You the point guard of the team. What you gonna be doing in the post at 6'2"?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Unless you know I'm on the bench and you got to run the offense and doing stuff like that. But if I'm in the game, I got to be the one down there. You got to be in the perimeter. You know, Kevin Durant is just looking at this dude like, what the hell is going on with him? And then the season starts. Kyrie Irving takes personal days, and you know the team fined him because they found out he was at a birthday party, someone's birthday party. He said he had something important to go to, but he really was at somebody's birthday party. So he wasn't being truthful to the team, and they felt they had to fine him. You know, so Kyrie Irving is being defiant. He's being defiant and stuff like that.
You're right.
He's showing that
You're
he's
right.
defiant.
You did show those signs.
The red flags were there, man, with Kyrie Irving, and now this whole thing, where you know, these players made a commitment to play to help Brooklyn win a championship. The time is now, but Kyrie Irving don't want to go because of this vaccine and stuff like that. And it came out and said that he's not against taking the vaccine. He's making a stance where he's trying to be a voice for the people who are losing their jobs because they don't want to take the vaccine, and their jobs are saying they can't work because they don't want to take the vaccine. So Kyrie's trying to, you know, do go on like a protest or his type of social injustice where he's trying to say that he's not going to play games because of those people, but he's not against taking the vaccine. Or maybe he is taking the vaccine. Who knows? It's all speculation. But he did make a comment saying that he didn't want to put this thing in his body. And, you know, there was an agreement with him and the owner and Sean Marks, the president of basketball operations, that he was going to be able to play games and that they were going to meet those accommodations for him. But come on, man, Kevin Durant had the COVID-19, and you knew that New York, at the rate that they were getting that COVID over there, they were going to have these mandates, man. Right. So he knew what was going on, but yeah, he still said in media that he was not going to be a distraction. And guess what? He has become a distraction, man, and he's hurting the team. You know, so that led to the team saying that, you know, they already knew he couldn't play home games, but they were not going to allow him to play away games because he would have been too much of a distraction, because the reporters, they would have kept hounding not only him but the teammates about that question. So Are you gonna keep? Are you gonna take the vaccine so you can
Mm-hmm.
start playing home game? You know, those are the type of questions that were gonna be headed their way. So they don't want to deal with that nonsense. They didn't want to
Mm-hmm.
deal with discord on the team over this whole topic. So they just decided to say, Kyrie, you know what? You stay home. We still gonna pay you to not show up because they don't want that type of distraction. It's gonna mess around with the team.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but Kyrie, man, you know, if you're gonna do that, then you gotta be straight up. You gotta tell these cats to trade you, man, because you know you can't. You go apart. Listen, when do we ever see a part-time guy? We seen Kawhi Leonard be load managed. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? And it worked out in Toronto's Raptors' favor, but Kawhi was there. We knew why
Exactly.
he was being load managed. It was because he had a degenerative issue. His
Fact.
body was breaking down, and now
Fact.
we see why they were load managing because he tore his
Mm-hmm.
ACL in that
Mm-hmm.
that semifinals against the Utah Jazz. His
And he
body,
had to get surgery.
and he had to get surgery. Now we know
Mm-hmm.
why that quad was breaking down, and it
Yep.
eventually broke down, and he tore his ACL.
Yep.
But what Kyrie is doing, man, is he's not even involved in the team activities, man.
Nope.
You got to be straight up with the guy. You and Kevin Durant made an agreement to go team up, and then
Yep.
James Harden latched onto you guys. And this is bigger than basketball. I understand you don't want to take the vaccine. That's fine and cool, but you got to meet Kevin Durant. You got to meet the Kevin Durant 50-50. You got to let him know, man, what the situation is. And
Facts.
trade me, man. Trade
Yep.
me.
Yep.
If I can't be there to give you my services, let me trade me so I can let somebody be here to help you out because you're trying to win a championship for Brooklyn. You and
Yep.
James Harden are so trade me. I let myself be traded to a team where I can play and I don't have to worry about the mandate issue. He's being selfish in that regard. I can't blame the brother for not taking the vaccine because you can't force anybody to take something. And that
Mm-hmm.
should be how this country is ran, where you
Mm-hmm.
can't force somebody to take something or put something in their body they don't want. Cool, fine. I don't have a problem. But listen,
Mm-hmm.
let Durant get value for you, man. Ask to be traded. Don't make this a hard situation. Ask to
Mm-hmm.
be traded so
Mm-hmm.
Durant could get something for you, so he can compete
Mm-hmm.
for and contend for a championship. That's the
Mm-hmm.
problem I have with Kyrie Irving. That's my issue with him. He's not letting Brooklyn Nets get value for him, man. He's just sitting
Facts.
out this whole situation. He's not taking the vaccine. He's saying things like he's gonna retire if they trade him, and that is killing his value. They could have
Mm-hmm.
been gotten something for him. They could have probably got Ben Simmons. They could have gotten Damian Lillard, but I don't know if Damian Lillard is going to be traded because I believe that's a situation where Damian Lillard verbally says that he wants out of this situation, and that's the only way that trade would happen. But I don't realistically see that trade happen unless Damian
Facts.
Lillard gives it the go ahead. It could happen, but Damian Lillard got to give it the go ahead. He got to say, I
Uh-huh.
don't want to be in this situation no more. But Brooklyn Nets could have got something for him, man. And he's being selfish in that regard, and where he's not, he's just he's like an enigma, man. There's a
Yep.
question mark. He's not saying, okay, you could trade me. You guys send me to a team I could go play, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't have to worry about the mandate.
Mm-hmm.
He's not doing that. He's just sitting on his ass, leaving these little cryptic messages on Twitter, and he's going about his business, being silent
Yep.
from the team. The team don't know where he's at, where his whereabouts at. Man,
Mm-hmm.
it's not a good situation for Brooklyn. They can't win the title because he's such an integral part to the team. And
Yep.
it's messed up to see Kevin Durant have to deal with that, but because we don't know what's going to end up with this whole situation, because that mayor that's coming on said that he's not going to change the rules for Kyrie Irving, man.
Yep.
He's going to go by the mandate of the city, of the state, and New York
Yep.
is going to continue with this mandate until they finally lift it. But
Mm-hmm.
when it's lifted, how much damage is he going to
It's
bring to
already
that
done.
relationship already? The damage
Yep.
has been done. How are they going
Yep.
to be able to pick up the pieces? They're not,
Yep.
man. So
Yep.
it's an ugly situation, man. Truly, it is.
And that's why you said some hellified points. First and foremost, if I'm wrong, I can admit when I'm wrong. Richy Rich was right about the signs with Kyrie Irving. He was mentioning it. since last year, man. He was bringing those points up. I choose to ignore it, even though I saw it, because I honestly believe that Kyrie Irving, when it was all said and done, he was going to realize that this year was going to be the championship year, and he was going to figure it out and say, you know what, I'm going to be invested in the cause. And he failed in even that regard. That's why I don't even want him on the team. I don't care if he's even there. And Richie Rich is right. You getting a vaccine, you're not getting a vaccine. That is your choice. No one can force anyone to take a vaccine or don't take a vaccine. But if you don't want to take the fucking vaccine, get the fuck off the damn team and let somebody else that wants to come on the team that's already been vaccinated. We know Damian Lillard's already been fucking vaccinated. So let Damian Lillard come on the damn team and you get the hell off the team and be done with it. They're not enforcing those same rules in Portland. Portland's a hippie fucking town. There's a bunch of fucking hipsters out there. They're not enforcing shit. They smoking weed. They're engaging into prostitution. They're engaging in all kinds of shit down there, man. They are not as what we would say tight line and tight ship as New York is. So why are you sitting here holding up space and still collecting a $19 million check? It tells me that you're extremely selfish. And I have a problem with that fundamentally. And I also have a problem with the fact that he wants to sit there and clog it up. You said you wanted to retire from the league. You wanted to go into social justice movement. You wanted to go and be a social justice activist. If that's the case, then get the fuck out of the league. Why are you still there? This is what I don't understand with Kyrie Irving. You say one thing, but your actions always speak and do another. This is very funny to me. But it speaks volumes, and it speaks what Richie Rich was talking about in his fundamental, elemental, and rudimentary point, which was eloquent in the sense that he's been saying it since last year. Hey, he knows. Ross, listen, man. Kyrie Irving, this dude right here is more than just a contrarian. He's a problem. And he was absolutely right about that. These guys are issues. This guy was a problem. He was a shit starter. So let's get the shit off the team, man, and let's recreate the stain. And Kevin Durant needs to step up, stop being the nice guy, and finally put his foot down and say, you know what? If this guy's not going to be about the cause, he's not going to help get this championship. He's not going to help his legacy along with mine. Because truth be told, Kyrie Irving has something to prove along with Kevin Durant. Kyrie Irving has to prove that he could win without LeBron. So I don't know why he's not motivated by that. It's the same way that Kevin Durant has to remove the stigma that he can win a title without Golden State Warriors. They both have something that they should be motivated by to win. Kevin Durant is clearly motivated. Why is Kyrie Irving not motivated? That's why I'm asking. If you are supposedly a Mamba Academy and a Mamba mentality student, why aren't you motivated to play basketball? I honestly don't believe that basketball is Kyrie Irving's first focus, because he's always taking sick days, he's always taking time off, and he's not focusing on the game of basketball. Since Kyrie Irving had that razzling and dazzling moment against Stephen Curry, this is all we can talk about. Reliving that 2016 moment. The last 5 years, if you go and look at every calendar year of the times that he's taken off the basketball court, he's taken off a lot of games. It's insane the level of games this guy's taken off year in and year out. It's insane how he's robbed the NBA bank. Literally. I mean, literally, he has robbed and rapaged the NBA bank for him not playing basketball games. And you want me to take this guy serious? No. Time is enough. People need to hold him accountable and say, look, do you want to play? If you don't want to play, then we're going to have to trade you and get you off this damn team. And if you don't want to get off this team, we're going to force you off the team. It's not going to be a good look for him. It'll bring his trade value down. And I guarantee you, eventually they will blackball him. They would treat him like they did Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony had to come back in and beg on his 2 knees to get back in the NBA. This is what Kyrie Irving is going to need in order for him to change all the way together. The NBA has changed your life. It's changed your opportunity. It's given you millions and millions of dollars. And you turn around and spit on it because this is not your first love. If it's not your first love, get the fuck out.
I think they're gonna give him worse treatment. They're gonna give him that Stephon Marbury treatment. He's gonna have to go to
Yes,
China and
yes,
reinvent himself.
yes. He needs that. He deserves that. He should get it because you have an opportunity with the Nets. There's nobody. If Kyrie Irving is playing on the Nets, there's nobody that should be able to touch that Nets team. I know it. Richie Rich knows it. Even LeBron tards know it. That's why they're laughing. Like, look, you ain't got Kyrie Irving, so ain't gonna be no more championships. Even LeBron tards are saying it because they know how dangerous the Nets are if Kyrie Irving is there. This is nonsense, man. It's nonsense on so many levels. And are we gonna sit here and act like our eyes didn't unsee what we see? Are we gonna sit here and act like we're not paying attention to what we're not paying attention to? My question to Kyrie Irving is, do you want to play basketball? And if you want to play basketball, are you going to fucking play basketball? And if you're not, get the fuck off the team. It's that simple. Any other takes that you got to say on Kyrie Irving?
I hope that brother could get his act together, man. Because, like you said, that dude owes basketball. Because if you looked at the last 4 or 5 years, man, he's been averaging about 50 to 60 games. And we haven't seen the best of Kyrie, man. It's just like you said. It's only been that moment in that finals setting where he was able to go off, and nobody on the Warriors were able to guard this man. And he went off and he helped LeBron James win that championship for Cleveland, their first championship ever in their history. And ever since then, it's just been a low point for Kyrie, man. Injuries, not being able to lead a team as the number one, And it's up to that dude. Does he have a love for the game? If he doesn't, man, it's time for you to move on to the next phase of what you want to do in life, man. And if you want to do something else, fine, retire, bro. But if you want to stay and play basketball, play basketball. If it's not with the Brooklyn Nets, fine, cool. No one's act like I said again. I don't have a problem with him not wanting to take the vaccine, but don't occupy space when you can't be present. Let somebody else come to that team that wants to be there, man. Ask for a trade. Be mano a mano with Kevin Durant. Let him know the situation. Yeah, you guys should trade me, man. Go trade me and give value. I'm not gonna retire. I just don't want to. I just don't feel like I should be forced to take the vaccine. Cool, cool, man. I don't got a problem with Buddy. That's his body. He should have a right to put whatever he wants in his body. If he don't want to, that's fine. But don't occupy space. Ask that team for a trade, man.
Yep. Exactly. Absolutely. All right, man. We're gonna do one bonus topic. We're gonna talk about Scottie Pippen and his diatribe with Michael Jordan. I'm gonna let you start off first, Richie. What is your take on it, man?
Man, I just felt, because on those Bulls teams, man, Scottie Pippen, man, he was such a big part of those teams, man. And just we used to root for the Chicago Bulls. I felt bad, man. I felt bad, like my stomach turned a little, man, when I seen Scottie coming with and saying these things, man. Like Scottie's having like a post midlife crisis, man. That things in his life is just not turned out the way he's wanted to, and now he's trying to sell a book, and then he's trying to come out with dirty laundry or say bad things towards Jordan. It's not right, man. And I don't know what's going on. The media has put out a lot of bad stuff on Scottie Pippen and his personal life. Bad investments. Infidelity from his wife. Some moments where him and Jordan, they had some issues, where he came out and said that he didn't say nothing to Jordan when Jordan found out his dad passed away. Man, it's just some messed up stuff to hear, and it just sounds like Pippen is just jealous and bitter, man. And that certain things you come out, you hear Forbes magazines Jordan is worth $2.2 billion now. And you're looking at Pippen's net worth, and Pippen is not where he needs to be because of the bad financial decisions that he's made in life. And he's not happy that the media constantly portrays him as a sidekick or a number two guy, trying to make him lesser than what he is. Pippen, you're 50 all-time greatest player, man. Jordan, every chance that he's gotten to say that there would be no Michael Jordan if there was no Scottie Pippen. Jordan
Right.
has given this guy the ultimate respect, man, and the regard. Jordan had to be the guy to be there and say the intro to about Scottie Pippen was when Pippen was inducted in the Hall of Fame. Jordan
Yep.
wouldn't just do that for anybody, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's wrong with Scottie Pippen. Maybe they've had their spats in the past. Who knows? But
Yep.
that stuff is to leave between you guys, personal, man. You coming out in the media, you coming out in the public with your book, man, and I don't know, man. It just don't feel right to me, man, for Scottie Pippen to come out and say this because it hurts his legacy. Because there's always video proof of Michael Jordan going out and saying, even in the Last Dance, man, without Pippen, there would be no Michael Jordan, man. He always praised Pippen, man, in the highest regard.
Yep.
Saying that, man, without this dude, this dude was my rock, man. He did everything out there. Without him, I would not win 6 championships.
Yep.
I can understand if Jordan was an asshole. He go out and say, "Nah, man, Pippen, man, without me, if I wasn't there, we wouldn't be winning nothing." This man, you know how humble you gotta be. Jordan is braggadocious in his own light, man. But some aspects of Jordan, man, if you watch Jordan in a lot of those post-game interviews after a game, Jordan was humble, man, in a lot of those games.
Exactly.
Jordan always say, "Don't ever call me the greatest, man. There were other guys in other eras that did it before me, man." I've never heard Jordan say he was the greatest basketball player to ever play the game. Scottie Pippen made a comment and says that he feels that he's the greatest player to ever play the game. Once you hear something like that, man, you know Pippen is coming from a place of bitterness, man, a place of jealousy. I was like, man, it's just if I'm Jordan, I would feel hurt, man. This is my teammate. This is a guy I went to war with, man, so many years. We won these chips together. And now he's coming out at this tirade towards me because certain things have not panned well for him in life, man. You know what I'm saying? Pippen, man, he's got to reflect on his life, man. I hope, he can get better, man. But I know, man, at that age, and the things that have happened to Pippen, man, lately, man, it's tough, man. It's tough. I know it's tough, but you can't be jealous, man. You can't be bitter, bro, because this makes you look bad in the light, and it's gonna hurt your legacy. And now these guys were making fun of him, man, on these sports talk shows.
Exactly.
They looked at him as a number 2, as a sidekick. They're probably gonna look at him as worse now because they've like, damn, man, everything has panned well for Jordan, and things didn't pan well for you. Now you're coming at Jordan like this. It don't look good. I'm not gonna lie. The Last Dance did come from a Jordan, a lot of Jordan's POV point of view, but come on now, let's be real. When they're doing a documentary or about the best player on the team, they're not going to really dive into the other guys like that. You know what I'm saying? When we always see stuff like that, they dive mainly into the number 1 head honcho guy. That's how it's look. It's always looked from his point of view. So, there's no shade. You can't have no shade for stuff like that. It's nothing new under the sun. It happened before Jordan, and it's going to continue to happen after him. When the producers come and they want to do a story on a team, whether it's football, basketball, hockey, and they want to talk to the guy that was the headliner, the main guy. He's always gonna be featured first, and they're gonna want to hear from his perspective, his point of view most of the time. That's how these stories are. Pippen kind of took it too harshly, man. Man, come on, man. It's bad to see that as a guy that rooted for those teams, rooted for them. And how we rooted for it's just bad to see Pippen coming at MJ like this, man. And then Jordan probably felt backstab. How do you feel? He knows.
The way that I feel about it is very simple. Scottie Pippen is a disgruntled number two. He's a renegade Robin. He's a Red Hood, basically. I want you guys to watch a deaf Batman, a Death in the Family. That's my movie reference for you guys. And I also want you guys to watch Red Hood. This is what I want you guys to watch. Watch those movies and you'll understand Scottie Pippen's dichotomy. You'll understand his mentality. When Robin gets to a point to where Robin gets deranged and Robin gets to a point to where Robin becomes in a betrayal mindset, he becomes Red Hood. Because Robin wants to instinctively prove to Batman that he's every bit on Batman's level. And then this is what ends up happening when he tries to prove that. Joker gets a crowbar, ties him up, beats the living snot out of him, gas up the place, let Batman watch from afar, and then Robin dies. That's exactly what happens. That's what Scottie Pippen is. His
Pippen alluded
tarnishing
to that.
legacy has died. Scottie Pippen has basically become ashes. If you're a Scottie Pippen fan, if you prescribe to the Scottie Pippen way of basketball, you should be ashamed of yourself because there is no Scottie Pippen if there's no Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan molded Scottie Pippen. He made Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan made Scottie Pippen the complete basketball player that he is. Scottie Pippen is clearly revealing that he supposedly feels that his legacy was not basically respected. Your legacy is respected. You're the greatest Robin ever. You're the greatest number two ever. There's a caveat in accepting that. There can't be a number one. Two bulls can't reign in one pen. Don Dada is not plural. Everyone can't be a number one. So it's okay to accept the number two. Scottie Pippen revealed that it's okay to be a number two. But apparently he wasn't okay with it, even though he set a standard for it. He was able to win 6 rings with Michael Jordan being the number two. Dude, you're playing next to the GOAT. There's no scenario where you were going to be the number one. There's no scenario where you were going to be better than the GOAT. There was no scenario where you were going to dominate over the GOAT. So stop the nonsense and let's be honest with ourselves and let's tell ourselves the truth and let's look at the fact that you're just delusional, you're in denial, and you're not being honest with what is faced in front of you. This is how I'm looking at it, Richie Rich. What's your take on it? Because I'm going to flip it right back to you. You're on mute.
My bad. I agree with your assessment, man. Like you said, there can't be two number ones in any sport. You know what I'm saying? There can only be one guy. You know,
Yep.
one guy to count on when in those tough moments when you need a shot, when you need a
Mm-hmm.
play to be made, man, and they can make it. You can have another guy, number two, that could act as an overseer of the team and do certain things that the number one doesn't have to do. And that's how those two guys can carry the team. Pippen was that. He was the guy who handled the rock, who made sure certain guys got the ball when they needed it. Jordan also made plays for teammates as well. Jordan was a career 5 assists, 6 assist guy in his career. You can go and look it up. He wasn't a ball, but Jordan was a shooting guard. That's what his position is. He's there to shoot the basketball.
Yep.
But Jordan played defense at a high level. Pippen was the obvious better choice to play defense on the best player because Pippen was taller. He was longer. He had the longer wingspan, and he could cover certain sides. He can cover more areas on the court defensively than Jordan could because of how high he was built. It's only logical for Pippen to be a player playing in that type of way. So Pippen was valued, man. It's not like he wasn't valued. And Jordan always says it, man. If he didn't have this guy, there's no way he would be able to do what he was able to do in the game of basketball. And Pippen, he's not paying attention to those words, man. So he feels that he's undervalued. He feels that he's not appreciated. Pippen, man, you're appreciated, bro. It's just that you made some decisions in life, man, to where you probably, it's probably messing with your psyche, and you probably feel that, you're not appreciated. And he's allowed the hearsay from outside to mess with his mental. People who don't really matter. Who the hell is a Shannon Sharp? Who the hell is a Skip Bayless? Who are these guys? You a 6-time NBA champion, bro. What can they say to you? Stephen A. Smith, what can they say to you? You're a 6-time NBA champion.
You know what it is, Richy?
You wasn't the number one guy, but come on, bro. You were very integral to that team.
You know what it is? Let me tell you what it is. It's Future, dog. Future running through that damn chick. And Malik Beasley. And then we found out Ben Simmons. And then we found out Tristan Thompson. And now we're finding out, and this is disturbing. This is why Larsa Pippen should be arrested. They should lock away the key and throw her ass in the cell. She's a 46-year-old woman, and she's letting Bronny James get up in it. That's LeBron James' son. He's 16.
Hey, that can't be
That's
true.
That's a 30-year gap. That's a 30-year gap. It is the truth. It is the truth. The dude was smoking weed, and she was right there on the cam, and she's right there. Yeah, she's right there calling him cute and saying that he's looking good, and he's. Am I lying, Ben Castro? Am I lying, dog? Y'all tell me the truth. That's why his dad took his ass off of social media. That's why you ain't seen him on social media. They wilding out right now. Scottie Pippen is constantly being disrespected by Larsa Pippen left and right. Now you got to deal with the fact that when you kiss Larsa Pippen, you got to kiss a 16-year-old's nut juice. Oh my gosh, this is embarrassing, man.
Apparently they're not with each other. They're not with each other, but she's keeping his name. That Pippen wants her to give up the name, relinquish the last name. She don't want to give it up.
Pippen, when they asked Pippen, "Are you still married?" Pippen's like, "Yeah, we're still married." Apparently she's done with Future. Last time I checked, the relationship is over. Let me explain something to you guys. It's embarrassing for a guy to constantly stay in a situation when your woman is constantly disrespecting you. Will Smith, the same thing with Jada Pinkett. He's staying in that situation, and she's constantly disrespecting. She's chasing a ghost. She's chasing Tupac. Tupac is dead. He's a ghost. Why are you chasing a ghost? Jada Pinkett at best is a C+ actress. You're a fucking A-lister. You can have any woman you want in Hollywood. Why are you dealing with Jada Pinkett? This is what I don't understand with these guys. Stephen Curry's dad. Why are you still dealing with? Why you let Sonya Curry do you up like that? You should have been out of that damn situation. You Dale fucking Curry. A lot of these guys don't understand the prestige and the level that they have. They getting done the fuck up. Scottie Pippen is sitting there and getting done up by Bronny James now. It went from Future to Malik Beasley. I'm not lying. It's the truth. You better go and get your ass on some new shit. You'll see what I'm talking about. To Ben Simmons, to Tristan Thompson, to now Bronny James. I don't know if LeBron is like, yo, son, you need to broaden your horizons and spread your wings. I don't know what's going on in that family.
I know Tristan got up in that. I know Malik Beasley got up in that. Future got up in that. I didn't know Ben Simmons got up in that. But
Ben Simmons got up in it.
She going to jail, man. That's sad. You know
that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. I dropped a video out on it. Why is her ass not locked away? This kid is not even 18 years old. But see, this is the double standards that they talk about. It sounds cool when a guy is able to do that, right? Even though he's underage. Now imagine if the shoe was on the other foot. Imagine if it was a 46-year-old man and a 16-year-old woman or girl. What you think would have happened?
I already know the deal. They're going to lock you up and throw away the key.
That's what I'm saying. She's sitting there on a live. Tell me that's not disturbing and saying, Bronny James, you know, you're so handsome. You're so cute. And he's... Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?
That's crazy, man.
LeBron James don't even got his home in fucking order. This is why I said LeBron got everything fucked up. He's 4 out of 10 NBA Finals average in performance. He got a renegade son sitting out there chopping up almost 50-year-old women. I mean, what is going on here? What the heck is going on here? This is what I'm talking about. So Scottie Pippen has those issues. You got to understand, when Larsa Pippen keep disrespecting Scottie Pippen like that, it's going to make Scottie Pippen look at his life and be like, well, damn, Michael Jordan's with Yvette Pierto. He got her ass on a $4 million prenup every fucking year. She'll never touch billions. Michael Jordan is worth $2.62 billion. I've tricked off all my $120 million NBA salary
He
to this
learned from
Larsa
his
Pippen.
last marriage.
I've tricked it off to all this money to Larsa Pippen, and Larsa Pippen has turned around, and Larsa Pippen has screwed everything over. Yeah, Jordan gave up all the money to Juanita Jordan, but Jordan's still worth $2.62 billion. It's as if that marriage didn't even fucking happen. He still got good money. And actually, he still got great generational, beyond generational, and generational worth money. But Scottie Pippen, this is what we're asking ourselves. Scottie Pippen made, this is a fun fact. I want all of you guys listening in the comment section to know this. Did you know this, Richie Rich? Michael Jordan made only $96 million in his NBA career. Scottie Pippen made 120. Scottie Pippen has made $34 million more than Michael Jordan in his NBA career. Tricked it all off. Bad investments after bad investments after bad investments. And is it because you're mad that Bronny James is penetrating the walls of your wife, and now you want to create books and get on diatribes? Let's be honest, Scottie Pippen. The real issue is not Michael Jordan. If you're doing a book, you need to do a book about Bronny James. If you're doing a book, you need to do a book about Malik Beasley. If you're doing a book, you need to do a book about Future. If you're doing a book, you need to do a book about Ben Simmons. If you're doing a book, you need to do a book about Tristan Thompson. Don't talk about Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's not the problem. If you notice, Scottie Pippen's issue has become an issue when all of these guys ran up and lost to Pippen. That's when the issue became an issue. Before then, he didn't have a problem with Michael Jordan. You're looking very weak out here in these streets called life, and then you want to get on Michael Jordan, who elevated you. The only reason why you're 50 greatest player of all time is because of Michael Jeffrey Jordan. The only reason why we know Scottie Pippen exists is because he played with Michael Jordan. Am I lying? When Skip Bayless said that Michael Jordan made you, he made you. The only people that like Scottie Pippen are LeBron James fans. I told you guys this, and you want to know why? Like Max Kellerman so infamously said. He said, LeBron James reminds me of Scottie Pippen. He's a swooped up Scottie Pippen. Well, that's what Max Kellerman said. I'm going to tell you, Max Kellerman was even wrong. LeBron James is a poor man's Scottie Pippen. He's not even on Scottie Pippen's level. He's a poor man's addition. The NBA is so watered down that it makes you guys think that these basketball players are greater than what they actually are. And they're not. That's why Scottie Pippen said Michael Jordan played the game the wrong way. He's basically elevating himself and LeBron James. If you notice, everybody that liked Scottie Pippen or preferred Scottie Pippen over Michael Jordan, they're also LeBron James fans. There's a connection. I have blood in my family that was a Scottie Pippen and now LeBron James fan, so I know the connection. I know what I'm talking about here. If you prefer the Scottie Pippen game, you're going to prefer the LeBron game. But everyone knows those are inferior basketball games. If you know what I'm talking about. Scottie Pippen couldn't win a ring. And LeBron James needed everything to win a ring. He needed Dwayne Wade. He needed Chris Bosh. He needed Kyrie Irving. He needed Kevin Love. He needed Tristan Thompson. But they said the Cleveland Cavaliers is not a super team. Tell me if the Cleveland Cavaliers are not a super team if you have Kyrie Irving, you got Kevin Love, you got LeBron James, you got Tristan Thompson. Doesn't that sound like the Golden State Warriors to you? Doesn't that sound like a big four? Y'all can't tell me that Draymond Green is better than Tristan Thompson. Y'all can't sit here and tell me that Stephen Curry is better than Kyrie Irving. And you can't tell me that Klay Thompson is better than Kevin Love. That sound like Golden State Warriors before Golden State Warriors. But they want you to believe that LeBron James didn't have a super team. He played with Dwayne Wade and he played with Chris Bosh. But they want you to believe that he didn't have a super team. If you like Scottie Pippen, you're gonna like LeBron James, and if you like LeBron James, you're gonna like Scottie Pippen. If you notice, LeBron James fans come to Scottie Pippen's defense since this whole situation has happened, and Scottie Pippen fans come to LeBron James' defense. What you got to understand is, just like Scottie Pippen was always a Robin, if you look at LeBron James's basketball career, LeBron James' basketball career has always been a Robin too. These are facts. They're undeniable. That's why LeBron James cannot hold the candle to the Kobe Bryants of the world. LeBron James cannot hold the candles to the Michael Jordans of the world. He's inferior to these basketball players because these basketball players are not Robins. They are Batmans. When a guy goes to 10 NBA finals in the weakest conference ever known on basketball, you know the Eastern Conference has actually gotten competitive now. LeBron James's Eastern Conference tenure was the weakest of Eastern Conference ever. And he was able to go to 6 NBA straight finals and win how many? 1? Since he went to 6, how many was he able to win? 1, 2, 3? That's horrible. If Jordan would have went to 6 straight, Jordan would have had 6 straight. If Kobe would have went to 6 straight, Kobe would have had 5 or maybe 4 out of 6 straight. But in that Eastern Conference, Kobe would have had 6 straight too. That's how weak the Eastern Conference was. They don't give Kobe Bryant enough credit because Kobe played in the Wild Wild West, man. That Western Conference is no joke. You can't have a losing record in that Western Conference and come out and be a playoff-bound team. You are not going to make the playoffs with a losing record, but you can do that in the Eastern Conference. So don't tell me about LeBron James and him going to 6 straight finals when he played in a watered-down conference. Please spare me that nonsense. And always stack the cards of the decks in his damn favor. What happened when he went out to the West? Nobody talks about his first year with the Los Angeles Lakers. They don't even make the playoffs because he didn't have no damn Anthony Davis. Let's be honest here. But he can take any basketball player and basically drag them to the NBA Finals like a hobbit. Come on, man. Let's be honest with ourselves here. If you're a Scottie Pippen fan, you're a LeBron James fan. If you're a LeBron James fan, you're a Scottie Pippen fan. And they're interwoven and intermingled and basically mixed into the same equation. Hence, you're going to hate Michael Jordan. If you notice, LeBron James fans always want to say LeBron is over Michael Jordan when they don't have no proof. They want to say that he's over Kobe Bryant when they don't have no proof. All they have is mere conjecture. So now Scottie Pippen is greater than Michael Jordan. Scottie Pippen has usurped Michael Jordan. When? When has that freaking ever happened? They don't want to talk about the Los Angeles Lakers this year. The fakers are getting cooked by the fakers. That's funny. The Los Angeles Lakers have been getting cooked. They got cooked by the Boston Celtics the other night on Friday. Jason Tatum dropped 37 points using Kobe Bryant moves. This is how I know LeBron James is overrated. He was in that game. Jason Tatum was using Kobe Bryant moves. Jason Tatum's not even Kobe Bryant. He was using Kobe Bryant moves, and he scored 37 points on that team. I watched that game. And I sat here and I said, this is the team. This is the guy that they say is a dominant basketball player. Come on, man. It's the things that make you say, It's the things that make you say,
They're getting beat by a trash Pistons team right now.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
A young Pistons team.
And this is the guy here, Derek Carter, the GOAT. He always saying it. Here he go. I'm going to put his comment up. The real season starts tonight for LeBron James. Easy win for us today. He said that crap about Boston Celtics game. So you going to say it the next game? You going to say it the next game? You keep saying it every game. When is it going to be true?
If they don't win against the Pistons, hold on. They probably going to win. Hold on. Let's look at their schedule. Schedule. Because they supposedly got this game and they got another easy game after this.
Exactly.
If it's not this game, it doesn't look. Their Pistons up 93-80. Unless them boys go on a hot streak, they ain't winning this game.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, they play the Knicks next. I don't know if that's going to be an easy win.
That's another
if they
L.
drop this game, they might drop the next game.
Another L.
And then they got to play the Pacers. That's not going to be an easy game.
Another L. Get ready for that L. Thank you, Sade Loden. Getting beat by the Pistons. Another freaking L. This is the thing with them. They keep eating L's. And you know I'm on the Pickers this week.
You know what
I'm
LeBron
gonna be
going to
on
do.
my basketball videos this week.
A trade is on the horizon, man. You remember when the Cavs started out 7-9? When he first got to the Cleveland Cavaliers? When they started off 7-9, and he made that trade to go get J.R. Smith, Amon Shumpert, and Mozgov. I feel like, man, if they keep losing these games, man, that boy gonna make a trade, bro.
Yep. And you know what's going up? And you know what's going to end up happening when they trade Russell Westbrook of Russellville? He's gonna talk trash about LeBron. I can't wait for it because it's gonna happen. But I'm cerebral enough to therapize Russell Westbrook of Russellville, and we're gonna win. I told you guys, man. Russell Westbrook of Russellville was the problem. And now you guys are finally paying attention and catching on to it, man. What's your last thoughts on this before we ride out? Because I know you got to go.
Man, it's just all this is going to come full circle, man. You know, all this stuff, this praise that LeBron has been getting over the years and stuff like that. Guys are going to have to start admitting, man, that it was him taking that easy route, forming these stacked rosters. That's the reason why he started winning. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to have to start giving a lot more credit to the guys that he teamed up with. It was not LeBron, you know, because it didn't make sense that he was winning those 66 games before he teamed up with these guys when he was on those Cleveland Cavaliers that had 61 seasons, 66 win seasons. And they were first place in the East. It was not all LeBron. Those guys, there was role players around him, the Boobie Gibsons, the Anderson Varejãos of the world. Nobody want to give those guys credit, but I'm going to give them credit. Eric Snow of the world. Who else? Sasha Pavlik. I'm going to give those Zydrunas Ilgauskas. All those guys, those guys were did I mention Boobie Gibson?
You did.
Yeah, I mentioned Boobie Gibson. Who else? That one, I done forgot his name. But you know, he was on that Cavs team that went to the finals against the Spurs. He was brought in to be his number 2. He played on the Wizards.
Talking about Larry?
Yeah, Larry Hughes. Yeah. Larry Hughes. That guy's not mentioned. LeBron has played with some solid players, man, throughout Antoine Jameson, J.J. Hickerson. People don't remember these names, but hey, I'm bringing them up. LeBron's played with some solid guys, man, and they don't get enough credit. It's just, LeBron James willed all those 60 wins by himself.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
Nonsense.
It's just when LeBron got into those playoff moments, he couldn't deliver the goods, man. He couldn't deliver the goods. He couldn't close the deal. That's what it is.
Those are the facts. He couldn't close the deal.
Couldn't close the deal.
Yep.
And that's what
it is, man. Richy, you killed it, dog. You told the truth. You killed it, man. It's really what it boils down to, man. We gave you guys a great live. We hit up on all of the damn topics. All week I'm gonna blast the Lakers. I have to blast them because I have to bring up the fact that the Lakers are fakers. Because like I said, I watched that Boston Celtics game and I watched how Jason Tatum, who's a far cry from the actual real Kobe Bryant, was able to torch up the Los Angeles Lakers with 37 points with just a Mamba Academy and a Mamba mentality skill set. That just shows you the greatness of Kobe Bryant, dog. That Kobe can infect a basketball player, and that basketball player can lash you up with just his skill set. I mean, that's ridiculous. They had no answer for Jason Tatum. None. And LeBron played that game, so I don't even want to hear it. Richy Rich, it's been real. We're going to do this thing again next week. Y'all take care. Y'all be easy. Y'all have a great Sunday. Don't do anything I don't want to do. Don't do anything that I won't do. That's what I meant to say. Don't be like Bronny James, and don't sit there. If you got a Larsa Pippen situation and you know you got a Bronny James, you need to find your way up out of that because that's embarrassing. And Larsa Pippen needs to be arrested, and they need to put her ass up in a jail cell and lock away the damn key, man. Y'all be easy. Y'all be real. Y'all have a great Sunday. Enjoy yourselves. Peace.